Thank you, Mr. Speaker. New Zealand First remains unchanged in its position on the Gambling Harm Reduction Amendment Bill. This bill is intended to reduce harm to communities and families caused by gambling. It aims to achieve this objective by ensuring that the proceeds of gambling are distributed back into the community from which they came, and to give communities a greater control over gambling operations. These are laudable goals, of course. However, we have serious reservations about the workability, clarity, and legal efficacy of the bill before the House. First, let us address some of the changes recommended to the House by the Commerce Committee. When this bill, listen, Simon Bridges, you might learn something. When this bill was debated at first reading, we raised an objection to Clause 5. This clause would have seen raising removed as an authorised purpose for Clause 4 of the gambling. There are 63 race clubs throughout New Zealand. These clubs have been recognised by the High Court as non-commercial. They are non-profit organisations that function in much the same way as sports club. Don't get lost in your thoughts, Honourable Minister. It's unfamiliar territory. To treat them differently under the law for political purposes would have been a low blow even for the National Party. So it is with great relief that we acknowledge the deletion of Clause 5. The second change the committee has recommended to the House regards the distribution of funding within localities. Clause 6, Bar 1 of the bill proposed that 80% of all funds derived from gambling be mandatorily distributed back into the same territory authority in which they were raised. We said we were prepared to support such an amendment on the proviso that the responsibility for managing these funds be established within a national framework rather than left up to individual authorities. Now, at present, 36% is given back. Mr. Flavel actually wanted 80%. He only got up to 40%, which is a mere 4% increase from the current status. That takes it from 36% to 40%. This much watered-down bill now proposes to replace the Clause 6 amendment with an instruction to the Department of Internal Affairs to simply take into account the geographical area where proceeds were generated. In other words, Honourable Minister, nothing really changes. New Zealand First was prepared to reconsider its position on Mr. Flavel's bill if and when appropriate changes were made. Oh, we got somebody over there that's very smart. You know, a smart man only believes half of what he hears. A wise man knows which half. A wise man knows which half. Unfortunately, this much watered-down version does nothing to alleviate our concerns. New Zealand First, I know it's pretty good. New Zealand First acknowledges that gambling is a serious problem in the community. It is a serious problem in the community. That is why we opposed the Sky City Poker deal. It is also why we were the first party to raise concerns about the sordid relationship between China Southern Airlines and Sky City. However, this bill offers no solution. It offers nothing but more bureaucracy and broken promises from the National Māori Party Alliance. just like the flailing Māori Party itself. Mr. Speaker, I believe that Mr. Flavel's gambling harm reduction bill should be consigned to the dustbin of history. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's my pleasure to stand and speak on this part of the gambling